Today let's look at the emotional lies of emotional incest. So I won't do a broad description of emotional incest at this time. I have a lot of videos on my channel about this. Today I'm going to zoom in more on just the emotional lies that cause emotional incest, the emotional taking over of a child from a parent for the parent's benefit. Now, when I say emotional lies, it's because they are emotional lies. Normally, a child isn't forced behaviorally into something. They aren't beaten where there's something physically going on. There's nothing to really point to. It's all an emotional manipulation. It's emotional lies. For a little child growing up, they can't tell the difference between a parent lying to them or being truthful to them. They're young and gullible and vulnerable, and they're going to follow and believe what a parent says, especially if they're ages 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But it continues way beyond that as well, too. So I'm going to tap into many of the lies that children hear growing up that cause them emotional harm, robs them of their identity. And so I jotted down several emotional lies that were coming to mind, and I'm going to refer to them as I do the video. These are in no particular order, just the way they were popping up for me. So a child feeling the lie that somehow they're more important than their brother and sister, that's not true. All kids are equal when they're being raised by parents, but the perpetrating parent is letting them know that you're more special. I value you more. Let's just keep this between you and me. And that's because the parent wants some sort of buddy or mate or mini husband or mini wife because they're not happy in their marriage. And then the lie of, in this case, a mother taking over a son, that somehow masculinity is a bad thing. This is quite a common occurrence. The little boy thinks there's something wrong with being male. There's something wrong with my masculinity. That's because the mother is taking him over because she can't deal with true masculinity. She has some fear of it or some issue from her childhood, likely. And therefore a real man, real masculinity scares the heck out of her. She can't deal with it with her own husband. That's why they have a poor marriage. But she can take over a little boy in this case, but she can't take over her husband, a grown man. So then this little boy is getting messages like, I need to not be too strong or have much of a voice or an opinion, or show that I am growing up and turning into a man because my mother doesn't like that. We can see through the emotional lies. We can see the energy like you better be, in a way, gender neutral. The mother doesn't know what to do with masculinity in her life, and hence that gets heaped onto the male son. The same dynamic can also be from a father to a daughter. A father is somehow threatened by a real woman, a strong woman. He doesn't know what to do with that. And so somehow this is taken out on the daughter, which then creates a bigger lie that you need to be strong for your parent. Chin up, be strong, this little kid is getting. When they're the child, they're the one who's supposed to be being parented, but everything's being flipped. The parent is feeding them an emotional lie that somehow they're more important. This is also called parentification. A child is being parentified. Or on the flip side, if they're not being parentified, the parent is so emotionally shackling them that the child begins to believe, I can't do anything. I'm just a little boy or girl. I'll always be a little boy or girl. But so either which way it goes, the child is falling for an emotional lie because they're not being helped with the truth, which is that this developmental stage for them is supposed to be about them. They're supposed to be finding their wings, learning what they're all about, and becoming stronger in that. But they're unable to do that because of the family dynamics. Lie of a father telling his little daughter, your mom's just a mess. I don't know why I married her. She can't handle life at all. Or a mother to her son, oh, thank God I have you. Your father's a wreck. God knows I was cursed the day I married him. But you know, I got to stay married to him. That's just the way it's done in my culture or my religion or in my neighborhood. So of course they're playing victim mentality here and laying it all on the child and drawing the child into a triangulation. The father secretly saying everything that's wrong with his wife, or the mother secretly saying everything that's wrong with her husband, which then causes a feeling, a lie that you're my special boy or girl. Well, what's a child going to do with that? How do I live up to this expectation? I guess I better just cave in and do what they want. The lie of a child hearing messages that you need to take care of me when I'm older. Sometimes a parent will verbally say to a young kid, don't ever let me go to a nursing home. It could be that direct, or it could be more subtle, but the message is that you're responsible for me as I get older, which a child is not responsible at all for this grown adult. The child is responsible for their own life and finding out what they're all about and finding their wings in life and living their life. Now this one can be a trickier lie. This lie is that I'm raising you in a way that you should stay at home your whole life, physically and emotionally, meaning don't grow up. But I may say things and act because others may be watching, right? It's all about appearances. I may say things like, yes, I want you to go away to college. Yes, I want you to move away for that job. So sometimes a parent may do that, usually because they know they can't get away with their little game so much anymore. But by then the damage is done because they've had you in their clutches for many years. And now emotionally a child has to work through that in their 20s and 30s because why do I feel stunted? So this part can be a little more tricky because the parent did indeed take over a child for many years. And again, causing major confusion in the child because it was always this push-pull. Go away, no, stay here. Stay here, now no, it's okay to go away now. So push-pull, push-pull. Because remember, that child may have been fed the emotional lie quite a bit that your life is mine. The parent may not have said those direct words to the child, but it's apparent in many ways by the way they've raised the child that I own you, your life is mine. Do what I need you to do. Be what I want you to be. It's all about me. Usually this comes from a narcissistic parent for sure, and not about you. Or the lie of I can tell you anything. You're there for mommy. You're there for daddy. I know you'll understand. When in reality, this is adult talk a parent needs to have with an adult peer or their spouse, of course. But now they're making the child feel as though they need to hear it. You're my little savior, which can connect into being a golden child, because that's what the child is. They're put on a pedestal. They know there's something special about them. They haven't gotten old enough yet to figure out that this is actually harming them. And so they're fed an emotional lie about what it means to be the golden child. When you're little, you're lapping it up. This is wonderful. Somehow I'm more important than anybody else. I'm being singled out. Not being fed the truth that being raised as a golden child will cause enormous emotional problems later in your life. You're not prepared for adult life. The lie continues as the parent says to a child, we'll always be close, you and me, dear son, a mother to her son, or a father to his daughter. It's just you and me in life. It's you and me, kiddo. We're gonna make it work. Placing the role of the spouse on a child, which connects then possibly to a lie of, you're going to have more fun with me. We're going to have a grand old time. And then that parent is planning out things with this son or daughter on their own, making separate vacation plans, taking only this one said child to a movie. The other siblings are sitting at home maybe, what's going on here? And if there are indeed other siblings at home, the whole family, including, of course, the child that's being taken over, is we don't deal with the truth in this family. We're not going to talk about anything real. Don't you dare bring this up to your aunts or uncles or extended family or our neighbors, because I'll just deny it. I'll lie in terms of I'll act like everything is okay at home. I'll put on a happy face. And nobody on the outside can really see then that this child is being emotionally taken over. The other siblings don't have words for it other than they're just pissed off. They're angry at this sibling who seems to be getting all the attention, then therefore blaming this sibling, when in reality this all stems from the parents, but these siblings don't know that. And then the child who's being taken over as part of this lie is wondering, well, why do my siblings hate me? I didn't do anything wrong. So then the lie continues of keep your real feelings in. Nobody wants to know them, and if they come out, they're just going to be twisted anyhow. The lie that somehow strong feelings are bad. We're made of feelings. We're human beings. We have all types of feelings, but we get the messages that we shouldn't be angry. It's okay to have joy and happiness and pleasure. Those feelings are okay, but these other feelings over here, these are too strong, we want to push those away. Well, this is a recipe for emotional disaster in a family. And then lastly, the lies of the removed parent, so to speak. There's usually one in the background that's just watching and observing, letting all this happen. And they're equally responsible. Quite often, this more passive parent knows exactly what's happening, but they don't want to rock the boat. They want to keep their wife happy. Stay out of this. They want to keep their husband happy. I'll just let him do his thing. And therefore, they're equally to blame. Said parent is too focused on their own needs, the need to hide, not demonstrate any courage, not find their voice within a marriage. And so then they find lies to work with this in terms of, I need to be at work every day. I'm sorry. I have to be gone 3 weeks out of a month on business trips. On weekends, I have to go down to the bar and watch the games with my buddies. I need to not add to my wife's stress. Just let her do her thing. I'm just going to leave that alone. My husband seems to get upset when I bring anything up about how he's raising our daughter. So you know what? I'm just going to stay out of it. So there's many, many, many excuses that the more passive parent, so to speak, comes up with so that they don't have to take any responsibility in their own marriage and in their life. And again, the passive parent is also responsible for this emotional lie as much as the perpetrating parent is as well. And of course, I'll just throw in that that parent can also be like, well, I might as well have an affair on the side. My wife seems to have her new husband in our son, or my husband seems to have his new wife in our daughter, so I might as well just do my thing on the side. So I've covered many, many lies here. I hope this is helpful to some of you who may indeed be a victim of emotional incest. So I'd love to hear any thoughts you have about this topic. Please leave them in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.